What's up? Welcome to Around the World. A lot of people have been asking me to bring this series back, so I thought it's about time that I do that, except this time I'm only going to be doing voiceovers. So if you don't know what this series is, it's basically a new show where I keep you up to date with all the latest videos, competitions, and anything that is freestyle related. So let's just get straight into it, and the biggest story in freestyle right now has to be the launch of FIFA 20 and its Volta Mode. So once this was announced in the summer, I did make a video about it, talking about the history of FIFA Street and how freestylers were involved in the past, and they are definitely involved in this mode of the game, and it's super exciting to see. So those of you that have played the game or have bought the game will know that freestyle is very much featured in this game. As soon as you start it up, there's this little intro sequence and story mode where there is some freestyle in there, and then all of a sudden Ed Van Gils appears alongside Takora. They're actually playable characters in the game. They're in the story mode, and it was really cool to see. It actually gave me chills down my arms when I was playing it. I was like, this is kind of surreal. So I'm sure millions of copies of FIFA 20 have been sold already, and everyone who's bought it will have to play this part in the beginning. So freestyle has gained massive exposure with this. I'm super happy for Takora. It's so cool to see him in there. And like I said, they are playable characters in the game. So you got Ed Van Gils, who is a street soccer legend. You got Takora, who's obviously a former world freestyle champion. And you've also got Jay Zinho. He was in the last FIFA Street game, and he's an American freestyler. To be honest, I don't know much about him. So I'm yet to really dive into Volta Mode yet, but once I do, I will share some more thoughts on it. And another cool thing to see was the whole campaign around the game involving lots of other freestylers. There was this event in London, which was like a street football tournament with lots of footballers, celebrities, freestylers all playing the game, hanging out. It looked like a really fun and sick event. And it's really cool to see so many people involved in promoting this, so shout out to everyone who is involved. And more than anything, shout out to EA for recognizing freestyle and incorporating it into the game in a very well done way. It's visually very cool, and I think it's going to inspire a lot of people to mess around and get creative with football, and maybe even lead into becoming freestylers themselves. So that is super cool to see. Another cool story about freestyle being featured in the mainstream this week is the launch of the Messi Circus show, which is currently based in Barcelona. It premiered this week in front of Messi and a ton of other celebrities, and it features 3 freestylers in it as far as I know. Kata from Chile, Gautier from France, and Pedrinho from Brazil. They're all performers in the show. I know that they've been working really hard, rehearsing for months. We all know that Cirque du Soleil is like the top of the top when it comes to performance arts. And of course, Messi is probably the greatest footballer of all time. So these are 2 very big things coming together. And again, freestyle, very prominent in the show. As far as I can tell, I had a friend who went to it and she told me that it was amazing and there was freestyle throughout it. So shout out to everyone who's involved in that. And it does look amazing. Those of you who follow Zlatan Ibrahimovic on Instagram would have seen a video he posted called the Matrix Challenge, and this is where he does a chest door and then he flails his arms back like the famous scene in the Matrix. For those of you that have seen that film, you'll know exactly what it is. And yeah, it's not really much of a story, but it's just cool that he would do that, and it's a challenge. So lots of people would have been out trying to do a chest door this week, which is kind of funny. On to some competitions now, and honestly there are too many competitions to recap, so I won't even attempt to do it because this video will be too long. But the reason for all of the competitions is because Red Bull Street Style is returning, and it's only a month away. The World Finals will be held in Miami, so there's qualifiers happening all over the place right now. As you can see from the player list, there are a ton of people already confirmed to compete, but there's one freestyler, Ahmed Reza from Iran. He's been unable to get a visa, and it looks unlikely that he'll be able to compete. I think this is something to do with like the US borders and the travel ban and the Trump being president and all that type of stuff going on. Hopefully they can resolve it and he'll be able to compete, but we'll wait and see. One of the most recent qualifiers was the Polish Championships, which saw Luki winning. As always, Poland has a very high level, and also the competition is usually wide open. There aren't many clear favorites in Poland. There's literally 4 or 5 freestylers that could actually win that. So it's always very interesting, and you have to say that Luki has to be one of the favorites in Miami, but we'll wait and see what happens. Another big competition was the Latin Championships, which was held in Ecuador, And for the men's competition, Pipe won it, and in the women's competition, Azumi won it. Now I can't show any clips of this, and I can't even tell you much about it because there are no videos from this as far as I can tell. So if someone knows of a link, please hit me up. I'd like to check some of that out. But a cool thing after competition was Laura Biondo's post. She was in the final, and she just shared a very honest post about how she felt about returning to freestyle, the scene of like the Latin ladies, and how she's going to push her level. So that was very interesting to read, and I always respect when freestylers open up on Instagram, because as we know, Instagram can be a very fake platform and not everyone is entirely honest on there. So whenever someone opens up and makes an effort to write something and share it, I'm always keen to read it. So respect to Laura for that. So let's get on to some freestyle clips, and the first one I have to feature is a French freestyler by the name of Stephen SJ. I just came across this on Instagram. It's been getting shared a lot, and for good reason. So as you can see, Stephen has prosthetic legs, and he's able to juggle and also pull off and around the world, and it's just insane when you really think about how difficult that must be, and the balance it takes, and the touch and the timing and all of that type of stuff. And it must take an immense amount of persevering and patience. So massive respect to Stephen for that. I just had to share that with you. Next up, we have Mathieu from France, and he posts up several clips. And honestly, this year, I think Mathieu has become one of my most favorite freestylers. I'm always interested to see what he's up to, what he's creating. His flow is second to none. Like, everything looks so easy for him, and he's really digging out his own unique style. So really cool to see these clips from Mathieu. And I think that the French Championship is coming up very soon, so it'll be very interesting to see how he gets on in that. Also, we have some brand new clips from Sufi and Bangkok. We don't get to see a lot of train clips from Bangkok, so it's cool to see this. In my opinion, he's one of the most talented freestylers there is. As we all know, he's an incredible street player too. So his focus is definitely much divided between street soccer and freestyle. And in the Instagram caption, he put #back. So maybe there'll be some more in the near future. Another cool clip that I saw on Instagram was this post of Tuzani giving a speech about his career and how he's made freestyle his job after being injured. It's really cool, and he speaks very well in it. So I want to show you this clip, but I urge you to check out the full thing on his Instagram page as well.
And I was thinking like, okay, if you can do one around the world, how about 2 in a row or 3, combine the tricks. And that's how I became, thank you. That's how it started, and I became the pioneer of freestyle football.
Couple things to wrap up this comeback episode of Around the World. I want to shout out Phillip Warren for his brand new clothing line, which he has just launched for Evolution. Make sure you head over to his web shop, check it out. The tees are awesome. Massive respect. He's put a ton of effort into it, and I've spoken a lot to him about this brand new clothing line and what he hopes to achieve with it. So make sure you go and support that. Cannot recommend it enough. Last thing I wanted to mention was this Instagram post from Dan Wood announcing this brand new membership app called World Street FC. It's going to be for freestylers and street football, and it's also a charity project as well. There isn't a lot of information on it yet, but I'm sure there will be soon as it is launching next month. So make sure you check that out. It could be quite interesting. And that's it for Around the World, the first comeback episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like this brand new voiceover format. I've enjoyed making it, so make sure you hit the like button and also leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of all this stuff which I mentioned in this episode, and subscribe for more episodes. Thanks a lot again, and I will see you all soon. Peace.